Hello, and thanks for joining the session. Today we're still working on that podcast's new website, and starting to look pretty good. I was just talking in chat a couple of minutes ago that I pulled up the URL, and for a quick second I thought I had pulled up the wrong one. So this is the current version, and this is the current live version. So it's starting to get at least the same feel, even though it's not perfect. It is not too bad. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. So what we're going to look at now is what we're going to do next. So there's still a couple of pieces that are pretty big that we need for feature parity with the current site. One of them is the RSS URL. Let's see here. Do this. There we go. If we go to the current live site, we have, no, that actually goes somewhere else. Here we go, this RSS URL. So we need to essentially duplicate this information. And so one of the things that we've been doing is kind of copying the existing twig templates. So I think I'm going to do that. So we'll go back to GitHub and find our iTunes RSS URL. Let's see here, iTunes XML. All right. I think I'm just going to copy this. Raw. And rather than yeah, Joe said most important development tool ever is copy and paste. Indeed. So rather than actually use the maker bundle to create the controller this time, I'm going to, actually I'm just going to do that. So make controller, and we'll call this iTunes. Cool. And I'm going to move templates iTunes to templates, and we'll do iTunes.html.twig. Let's do xml.twig. I don't remember if that's going to do anything different in terms of the UI for the IDE, but let's see what happens. I need to open up the correct project here. Okay. So if we get down into our controllers, iTunes controller is not going to be able to find the correct one anymore, so we need iTunes.xml.twig. Not going to pass anything in there. Route is going to be iTunes.xml. So I think that's what it was. Yep, iTunes.xml. No, .rss. And then Symfony content type. I'm sure one of these has one of the annotations have content type. Format routing parameter. Ultimately, the request was content. All right. Route format XML. Small template name. All right. think I can do anything there. Let's see, we can specify it here, parameters. I wonder if we can just do this. And then let's actually open up the XML file. It's not going to work outright. And return to our copy and paste. Actually, let me do this. Let's do XML. TF8. Let's see if this renders something for us. So, okay. Let's see what the headers look like. Text XML. Let's see here. RSS. Not sure we can get that specific using this, or if it's going to be smart enough to know what to do there. New. Alright, so let's get creative then. So I think this is going to return a response. No. Alright, so I guess I have to set the header directly, which I guess is fine. For some reason I thought I would be able to do something a little more easy than that. So we want application RSS. Double check to make sure that's correct. I think it will probably work either way, but let's see how this works. All right, so now we got application and RSS XML. It's doing the right content type. If we look at the output, it's actually giving us the output we wanted. All right, so let's go back to our template. And do I have that? Yeah, it is up there, okay. Okay, so it's already a twig template, but we don't need the YAML front matter. And we do need to do something with the URLs, so, or rather with the episodes. So we need to get those. So let's go to our home controller to see how we were doing that already. And we're just using the episode repository. And we're getting find all sorted. So let's do this. And we'll get an error here because there's some stuff in here dealing with site. So we don't need that anymore. Because that was a Sculpin convention. So href is page URL. That was another one that wasn't going to work. Let's see here. So I think that's actually... Alright, I guess it's a link to itself. So I need the current URL. Where was I doing that already? Home template. Might have been in the Astrocasts project. All right. No, I wasn't on that one. Admin dashboard, countdown. All right. I know I used this somewhere recently, I just don't remember where. So that's how we get the self URL. Let's see, app.site page dot. That might be all we needed to do. No, data. All right. So one of the cool things about this project, at least as far as I'm concerned, is that this really shows how cool Twig is. So the original site we haven't talked about in a while was originally written in Sculpin, and so it's all using Twig anyway. So the way that the pages worked meant that it was more or less pure Twig, which means that we've been able to move things over pretty easily. Explicit is this. So let's see here. Explicit no. So let's do no. It looks like Oliver's joined in chat. How's it going? Let's just say no, because I don't think we had any that were yes. But we could probably check Navicat real quick to see. Hybrid. Oh, you know what? We didn't pass that data along. Wonder. Let's double check here. we don't have any explicit episodes, so I'm just not even going to worry about this right now. So we'll just set it to no. Let's see here, the blocks stuff I think is not going to work. So I think that's going to be the next thing that it's going to complain about. Yep. So instead what we have here was we have iTunes summary HTML. There we go. RSS URL is just going to be RSS URL. File size. This is one that might need some work because I think file size. No, that might actually work as is. All right, date. Pub date. We actually called this something else. Date. Published date. Site. I thought I looked for site earlier. All right, so we'll do at least for now we can just do this, I believe. Actually, this is going to be this proper URL. So we'll do URL episode. Do we call it slug? Path. There we go. So we're ending up with this. Cool. So the only thing that we need to do is turn this duration into a proper duration. So let's go back to episode and duration. All right, so we need to get our helpers. That work? Yeah. And then helpers.friendly duration. There we go. Now we have a duration that looks like what we're supposed to have. But it's wrapped in some stuff. So what that tells me is we need to go back into helpers and make duration spaceless, which I think was this. I remember I had to do it on both sides. No, I didn't do it at all. There we go. So with the white space control, it's able to trim the leading and trailing white space from around here. So the next thing I want to do is test these to see how similar they look. So curl. Live. All right, so there should be actually a lot of diffs here because we have .test in some cases. So let's do that podcast. replace this with that podcast.io. Let's see. I would have expected these to be the same. So let's get more creative. Place any leading white space with nothing. Is that going to work? No. Is that what I did? Oh, I didn't escape. No? Search, find white space, find more one occurrence, trailing, that's trailing white space. That makes sense. All right, so let's do, apparently I do have to backslash it. Cool. And we'll do the same thing for live. And I think I need to do this as well. I didn't pay close enough attention to what I was copying and pasting here. Because this was actually removing trailing white space, which also is probably good to do. And then leading white space. All right, so this is still different. Atom link. So there's one with HPS. Looks like the episodes are backwards. Okay. So let's go back to here. Episodes. Reverse. if anyone has any recommendations for easier ways to make this kind of search, that would be awesome. And then HBS. All right, so the publish date is different. Why is the publish date different? Oh. Do I care? I guess I care. See if there are any other changes. This just looks nasty, so that should probably be fixed. That's double escaping because it ended up in the database as escaped, I guess. Let's see what else. Yeah, other than the dates losing a little bit of resolution, it looks like things are probably okay. Okay. So why would the date be different? So here we weren't doing anything at all. On home, we're doing the date, publish date. Alright, so these are all listed as if they were UTC, which I guess I'm fine with, because I think that's what they are in the database. So I guess I'll just leave it like that. I'm guessing that actual production instance right now, the time zone's probably set to my local time for some reason, which doesn't seem right. But I really don't know how I would test that. But otherwise, I think I'm pretty okay with the way that this diff looks. We haven't really lost anything, so we're able to more or less produce the same content. So we're going to do a similar thing now, but with a different part. So we did the RSS. I'm really quickly going to look at the JSON feed to see if it's going to be really easy to bring that over as well. And again, we're going to look at the template that we already had available. That was, where is it? Episodes.json. This was a smaller version, similar to what we had for our export JSON, but it doesn't need all of the information because it's just a player, or it was just for the player. So let's do another controller. We'll do make controller footer player. And move this. Actually, I'm not going to move that right now. Let's just go and look at player controller. I'm not going to worry about that for now. I'm going to do the episodes. Return this JSON. So what do we do with this? We just pass it the data. Int status 200. So all that should be fine. And we'll do player episodes, Twitter player episodes, and we'll do we look at the live site, that's what we get here. And on our site, in the dev, we just get an empty array, which I'm totally fine with. Let's go ahead, double check the template here, because it is going to need the key of the episode number. So get our episode repository, and let's see if we can do this. I don't know if we can do it all in one, so let's do episode repository, find all sorted. Let's collect these. What options do we have here? Reduce. Let's see, reduce takes you double check. I never remember reduce. I'm trying to use it more often. All right, so let's do carry an item. We need to send in the default value of empty. And actually, I think I'm going to there we go. So we're going to reduce these values. And episodes is just going to be empty. And what we're going to do, let's reverse them first. Well, I'm not going to reverse them so we can see what this does. And then for each item, we're going to add it as an episode. So episodes, which we need to use, episodes, item. So each one of these is going to be an episode. So we do item get number equals episodes. And then we need to see which keys we want. So title, subtitle, audio URL. So title, subtitle, let's do player. Which URLs do we have? Oliver says I'm trying to do a map with keys. Not sure if it's map with keys. Map with keys. Maybe? fast is each value given? Is this new? I want to say this was maybe new. Yeah, so Oliver's thinking we should do map with keys to avoid some stuff. I want to see if this is new, because I want to say this wasn't there before. No, it was there. All right. All right, so I'll try to refactor it to use this instead. So then you wouldn't need an episodes array. So let's try that. And then we'll do map with keys. And what we get with map with keys is the item. We can't pass back something quite the same way. So what we want to do is pass back an array with a key and then a value. So we want the value to be an array. So let's do this. There. Get URL. Get URL. Let's do media URL for now. Okay. So it does do what we were looking for, but we did need a top-level episodes key. As always, that's fun. So JSON, there we go. Cool. Yeah, so map with keys looks like it does work. I think it maybe does something different than what I was doing, or it maybe does what I was doing behind the scenes. I'm actually curious now. So I want to see what with keys. It says that the callback should return an associative array with a single key value pair. Doesn't look like that's actually enforced. And it's also doing a for each. Huh. Well, either way, this works too, and it does look cleaner. Behind the scenes, I was surprised it's implemented like this. It seems very anti-collections. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. So let's see what other keys we need. We need duration. And this is where things become a little interesting, because now we have our functionality to convert duration into a pretty value locked in twig. Site URL, and this is actually generator. Generate and let's do, we'll leave that, so it should be an absolute URL. Let's see, just before we go further, if that's working. Okay, cannot auto-wire URL generator. It looks like it's working. So Oliver's asking, he said that we're passing in the collection into JSON. I'm going to comment this out. It looks like it's working, I think. Oh, to remove this for now. Oh. There we go. So it's working, and I'm guessing it's because it's JSON serializable. Let's look to see if we can find what collection actually looks like. Yeah, so it is JSON serializable. So in JSONable, I don't remember which one of these is PHP or not. Yeah, so Oliver's saying it is traversable and all of that, but I think specifically it's JSON serializable, so that it's going to be serialized that way. So now we need to figure out how to wire up URL generator. From a service. Context request generate. This looks way more complicated. Generate URLs. So URL generator interface service. Is that what I was doing? Oh. Okay. Wrong place. So URL generator interface. I could swear I did that, but I might have, maybe I chose the API platform version. It's unclear right now. All right, so okay. So, cool. So we get that. Generate reference type. Absolute URL. There we go. So, so this is generating an absolute path. which is not what we want. We actually want a full URL. So we'll do URL interface, absolute URL. There we go. Cool. So now we need to fix this duration issue. Let's go try to see what we can do with that. We had our helpers and duration. Well, that is not worth. That is not worth doing anything different with. So we'll just copy and paste this. So we need date format. Let's see, date format, timestamp. So spec parameters to be an integer string given. Is this string to time? All right, so so we need the image also. So 542. Oh, that's interesting. The version that is up is less specific. I wonder if that's the case everywhere. The thing that I was noticing is that it doesn't have, no, it does here, okay. So it does have leading zeros, but on the player, it doesn't. Let's see if we can find one. Player. So I hadn't noticed that before, but it is a difference between these. Yeah, it displays it with the leading zero. All right, well, I'm fine leaving the leading zero on here. And then we need the background image. So site URL, background, just image, rather. Image URL. Cool. All right, so this works. So we have this, the episodes feed for the Twitter player up and running, which is good. And I have 10 minutes left, so I'm going to try and move the Twitter player over as well. So that is, where was it? This URL. So it's player.html. Let's go ahead and look at that. We're going to go into Twitter Player Controller, and we'll do index will be this page. So the URL was player.html. Let's go see what our code actually looks like for this. I think this might not have actually, Yeah, this was just a self-contained file. It doesn't have anything else, so I think this is going to be a really easy one to implement. Let's go into because it's not going to bring in any of the stuff. The only weird things are that it's going to look for some JavaScript stuff that we probably don't have. Site URL. Modernizer. Let's get rid of these, at least for now. We won't have access to the flat audio player just yet. Page.site. There we go. Background image. Where's our logo? There we go. Actually, let's see if those files end up here. Public build SVG. No, they don't. Okay. So if I want that to be built, I need to go into app.js. I'm going to require that podcast. And this is going to make it possible to reference that from the manifest, I believe. So it might also, well, it will also require us to actually be looking at the yarn files for that, or looking at the front end files. So public build manifest. All right, so we have logo.svg. Here's that podcast logo. YouTube. Red mic. That's where these come from. Where is this. I would have thought this would be there. Ow! Oh, come on, Beau. Wrong directory. Fun times. All right. Okay, now we have it in here. So we can now specify the path to this. So we're using it inline on the home page. And just because I didn't want to redo this here, we're using it, we're going to embed the path to it here. So we'll do path. Actually, I might do the full URL. There we go. Let's double check. So it's still looking for site somewhere, site.url. This needs to be from our iTunes thing. Actually, no. We're going to do URL home. Not going to use these. It's going to cause some errors. Path. I can't just comment it out. And I'm just going to remove all the Google Analytics stuff. Okay. And then the way it's called is just episode and then the number. So it's probably not going to actually do anything because jQuery is not defined. Get query variable. Yeah, so it's not actually going to be able to do what we wanted to. So I guess we'll have to do some more work on that later. But we do have a good chunk of everything ready to go for both of these things. So the main things we accomplished on this session was iTunes.rss and then episodes.json. And then the start of player.html. But that's going to take more work. So I think then on the next session, what we're going to do is work on getting the player working. The player that I had used before was jQuery, jPlayer. I'm not sure I want to use that, just because I don't need jQuery. Or if I can choose not to do jQuery, that would be awesome. On the other hand, I already have the code working, so the more pragmatic solution is probably just to use jQuery to get this rolling. But if anyone has any suggestions for nice audio players, especially ones that have like a nice flat player capability like we have here, I don't need lots of widgets or anything like that. I just want it to play. I want it to show how long it is, and that sort of thing. So if anyone has any suggestions, go ahead and email me or drop into our Discord chat and let us know what you think. All right, thank you very much. Have a great night, everyone.